You see my shit. To the love I had when you had none. Fact that I barely had some. Whew. You don't respect the fact that I gave love that I barely had some. I'm so dumb. See what is all the love I had. I can't get it back. I won't get it back. I gave up on the love I had. Can't get it back. I was just talking on my last video about love. This video is going to be short and sweet, probably like 10 minutes, hopefully, God's willing. We're talking about love today, feel me? I feel the need to, there's a lot of narcissistical behaviors going on, and narcissists have not learned what love is. So instead of talking down upon them, I wanted to educate them about what love is. You feel me? What is love? You feel me? We're not even gonna look at the dictionary and be like, it is an emotional tingling. No, we're gonna explain to you that love is an action. Love requires respect. Love is understanding. In order for me to understand, in order for me to even love somebody in a form of respect or fear and any kind of thing, I'll have to understand that person. You feel me? I'll have to take the initiative to steady that person. You feel me? There's a thin line between love and hate. So a narcissist would take time out to steady somebody just to have those information to use it for its benefits. You feel me? But an average person, if they was to steady somebody, we use that same information to better love that individual. You feel me? So we all do the same thing. It's just the intention of what we're doing it for. You feel me? That's why love is an action, because you can learn all these things, and what do you do with that action? Remember, action, when we split action down in the middle, we found love and hate. You feel me? Action is like an atom, and in the atom too, you have negative and positive. You feel me? So love and hate, basically, when you close them together, it becomes something like a nucleus, or it becomes like an atom. You feel me? And that's what makes life work itself. You need the positive and the negative to work hand in hand. It's the difference is that we don't have balance. We either leaning too much on one side, or we leaning too much on the other side. You feel me? And people don't know how to use depression and stress for their own benefits. You feel me? When depression happens in your life, that's a time for you to, it's basically more like a stop. Maybe you move, like depression can happen when you're disappointed in something, or somebody violates your love. You don't have no more love to give, and somebody took that kind of innocence away from you, so now you stress and you depressed. This is a time for you to think. Maybe you leaning too much on love, and maybe you need to just hold back and see what kind of actions you need to take to make sure that you distribute your love in the right way. You probably overdoing it to the point where now you are at a negative or a surplus. No, surplus is a plus. You are at a negative. You feel me? You probably giving too much to that individual. Love requires action, which meaning what is this person bringing to you for you to give this person this amount of attention, or this amount of caring, or this amount of what do you call it, affection. You feel me? All these things are point of, if I was if I was an affection to you, if I was caring to you, this requires action. You feel me? For me to pay attention to you, I'm focusing on you, which also requires some kind of attention and some kind of action itself. So why are you giving this person like this, like the fact that that noise came in? Now let's just assume that that person is making that noise just to silence me in some form of matter. That's his form of love, but it's more on the hateful side, because he's trying to silence you and everything else like that. For me to give him my attention, what is he giving me? He's not giving me nothing but destruction. You feel me? This is when you need to learn. If that sound itself stress me out, then why would I give it my love? If I'm just a loving being, then why would I give it my love? You need to be discerning upon how you distribute your attention and how you distribute this kind of action. You feel me? This is when the narcissist does not know how to differentiate the two and everything else like that. He's always in entitlement, in control. Everything else have to fall on his part. So he does not know the difference between the things that he do. Well, he does know the difference between the things that he do, but we're not gonna dive into that. What I wanted to stay, I want to stay on the loving part. You feel me? The definition of what love is. Love is an action. The way you distribute your love says everything about who you are as an individual. You feel me? Some people, we all learn how to love in different ways. You feel me? From our childhood and everything else like that. We just all do. It's like how can I put this? The way that you think to love somebody can be insulting to somebody else. You feel me? But there's a universal agreement of what good is and what bad is. You feel me? We all internally know what these things are. But some people just, you feel me, they express their love in so many different ways. You feel me? They just don't know how to express the love. Their humor is like, they'll say something that can be offensive to somebody else, but to them, they don't see nothing wrong with that. You feel me? That's some narcissistical traits and everything else. But let's stay on focus, because I realize that when I watch my videos, I do deviate a lot, because there's so many components to what I'm saying that I do deviate too much to one component. Then I try to come back and I be losing focus and I go into another thing, So I wanted to stay focused on all the love that you have. You can love somebody so much in a relationship. Remember, relationship is just it just doesn't have to do with just a boy and a girl. Relationship is the relationship that you have with your society, the relationship that you have with your neighbor, the relationship that you have with everything around you, nature, everything around you. How do you treat these things? Would you like, you feel me? How do you treat other human beings like that? Those are the relationship that you have with other people. How do you carry yourself? How do people see you in the world? You feel me? There's a disconnect between the two, because some people will look very good, like they got nice hair, nice car, and everything else like that. But when it comes to other people, they just don't know how to love them. Like, you see what they do to me, man. Sometimes it be the most neat people. These people got nice car and everything else like that, but it's like there's a missing link when it comes to them understanding what love is. You feel me? It does not match what they present into the world. When it comes to the relationship to present themselves to society, which is the world and everything else like that, they look clean. They got the cologne, they got the perfume and everything on. They got their hair done. They walking nicely. They got a nice family presentation and everything else like that. But when it comes to treating other people, that, like, it doesn't matter whether you hate that person or not. The way you treat other people says a lot. It says a lot more about who you are as an individual than the person that you treat. And you feel me? Because that person is a reflection of you. If I'm having a conversation with you and we arguing and everything else, people from a distance cannot tell who is who. They're gonna assume that we both arguing. They're not gonna say, oh, that person is very reasonable in how they. No, a person from a distance just can't tell who's who. We both look like the same person. You feel me? So the way you treat others from a distance tells the people about who you are. You feel me? So you need to like pay attention to that. When you out here, they want to present to the world that they're sane, but actually their action, they love, their relationship, their caring, their affection of other people, this is not love. This is just pure hate. You feel me? You just think love they just think love is the presentation of how they look. They want to look neat. You feel me? Things that are not tangible. They want to look presentable. You feel me? They want to look like they are intelligent. They want to look like they smart with a fucking tie on, or they got a clean shirt. They got a clean car. These are just not intangible. These are not action of anything else like that. Anybody can buy a clean shirt. Anybody can buy a nice car. Anybody can, you feel me? Anybody can do these things. It's like, what does your action, what does your day-to-day activities say about you as an individual? And when we start looking at the action, the things that they do on a daily basis, the things that they involve in, you know what I mean? The things that they let it pass. The thing that they entertain themselves with, the shows that they watch, what else? Feel me? We get to understand that these people do not have love in them at all. They don't have no love in them. They just look like they could love. There's potential. 10 minutes past, that's a fact. There's potential in there. You feel me? There's potential of, oh, this could be. It could be that. But when you dive deep into it and see what they doing action wise, it's like you don't love yourself, man. I can tell you don't love yourself by the things that they like. It doesn't matter what you can have $1,000 jewelry on, but the way you conduct yourself on a day-to-day is ridiculous. The things that if you take a look at me, the things that they do to me, it's like these people never love themselves. How can you love yourself if you can do that to somebody else? You feel me? The fact that you're doing that to somebody else, it puts you in the picture. You can't separate yourself from what you're doing to somebody else. You are that person. I don't understand why they don't understand that love and hate are the same thing. They both require action. They both are a form of a defection. They both basically are the same thing. They both came from the same place, just like a negative and a positive. So it's not like we can be like, it's not like you are a person. It's not like you can remove yourself from what you're doing to me. You are me. You feel me? It's an embarrassment to you from the if you're trying to embarrass me, right? The only way somebody can see that it being just me is from that person's point of view. But if you take a look at it from an intelligent point of view, they will see you as an embarrassment for the things that you do to me. So it's always based on the point of view of that person. But in actuality, we are the same thing. The things that you do to me is what you're doing to yourself too. Because from one person's point of view, they see you as the person that's doing these things to me. It's like, how can you do that to another person? You feel me? I'm just saying. It makes sense to me because it's like, that's how I see it. It's like, do y'all niggas even get what I'm saying? It's very hard to explain certain things if like I can't even insult people and be like they're not intelligent or anything else like that, because it wouldn't be nice of me to say such a thing. But it's like, if I had a matchup and I'm fighting in the ring, my opponent is me too. It's like, you feel me? I cannot face somebody who's beneath me. I never seen a heavyweight facing somebody who's a featherweight. You feel me? They tell you have to get your weight up to fight a heavyweight. You feel me? There's requirements for this things because your opponent define who you are. So if you see me as this individual and you shit on me and you tell me all this, like you this and you that, you ain't this and you that, he's a bigot, he's a deadbeat and everything else, but yet you are my opponent, what does that say about you? Shouldn't you elevate yourself to go against somebody who's worth you as a competition? You feel me? They say all these things, but when you look at the things that they do, the action, again, that's the love part of it all. It's like it does not match it. It's like it does not make sense at all. That's why y'all need to start looking at the definition of the word and matching it with the love part of itself. Because the world is made out of love. You feel me? Nothing could have existed if there was no love involved. There's an action. There's a strategy. There's a thought that went into this. You feel me? There's a lot of thinking that went into it. There's a lot of understanding and care that went into it. You feel me? That's love itself. You feel me? So it's like, if you gonna make a judgment, you have to put love into that judgment. Like, it has to be. So when these people try to present themselves to the world as better than me, it's like, yo, I'm gonna judge you by what you say you are, or by the love of what you claim to be, and we're gonna be like, this don't match up. Like, look at what you're doing to this individual. It's like, you couldn't even if you say he is what he say he is and everything else like that, then how can you do that to somebody else? You have to be crazy. You have to be insane to do something like that to somebody else and wait for somebody to call you out on it for you to act like you gonna tone it down. The only way you tone it down because people have their eyes on you now. You feel me? It just doesn't work like that. Anyway, man, look, man, I'm about to go back in. It's still been about a few months now. I haven't smoked cigarettes. Congratulations, pat me. Let me pat myself on the back. Pardon me. You feel me? It's been great, man. I've been doing good with that. I can't even lie. So, I'm about to go into work right now, but this is a video of love I had. People want you to see them in the light. They think that the clothes and their cars and their hair and their beauty is what define human beings, and that shit ain't got nothing to do with nobody. Cause everybody got the same things you got. As a matter of fact, when they trace back human race, they trace it back to one person who can link all of us together. So we just an expression of that individual. We just different expression of that individual. You feel me? It's like a different forms of that same human. It's just expressing himself in different light. Whether you bald head or you got long hair or you got this or you got that, we just expressing ourselves in that same individual. So that don't mean nothing. It's about your action. You feel me? That's a requirement. The look and everything else, that's optional. We can do without. And that's just a fact. It's like, what do you stand for? What is your love about? What is your action telling you about yourself? What is it? Is it love or hate? You feel me? There's nothing in between. What's going on here? Of course, you're trying to get in. They got a whole line. These niggas is the worst kind of people. Anyway, that's my message, man. I don't know what to call this yet, but I always figure out a title, content. You know what I mean? That should just, I don't even making the content up. We could call it temporarily out of love. And the reason why I just saw a tag that said temporarily. So we might call it that. I just be making that shit up, and they always go with it, because I realized one thing about the world itself, that everything came from one. So regardless of how outrageous things are, it can be the most outrageous title I can pick up, but for some strange reason, it always fit in with the content of what I was trying to say. You feel me? You can never miss a point. You can never miss a point, because everything came from one. Like, everything derived from one thing. All humans came from one humans. We're not made from monkeys, by the way, just in case you niggas didn't know. We had an ancestor who was a human, and the Neanderthals was also human, because a dog can have a baby with a fox, right? A dog can have a baby with a fox. Let me finish this stuff, then I'll go. A dog can have a baby with a fox. A dog can have a baby with a wolf. The Neanderthals had a baby, was mating with us, and we had kids with the Neanderthals. You feel me? That's why they had Neanderthals DNA in us. So that tells you that the Neanderthals also came from that common human. You feel me? So when they tell you that we separated from our Neanderthals and everything, that's a fucking lie. Because there's Europeans walking around here with the Neanderthal DNA in them. And Africans also have other forms of DNA in them. It's just that we derive from one human. Just like a dog, or just like a bear can have a baby with other forms of bear. A dog can have a baby with other forms of dogs itself. Anyway, I'm gonna holler at y'all.